Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. You made it. You finally made it. Or at least you got a job offer. You got a job offer from the company. It's been a long time coming. You put in about 100 applications, filled out online forms. You talked to this person with no response. You sent text messages. You sent emails, no response. You got denial emails. We're sorry, position's filled. We've accepted somebody else. We don't have anything to match your qualifications. Good luck in your endeavors. And rejection letter after rejection letter, unanswered, ghosting messages. After all of that, you finally got an offer and you are ecstatic. You are ecstatic. That's it. Allah gave us the ease. MashaAllah. We're ready. We're getting out of here. Baby, pack it up. You get there, and it is not what you thought. The people could be extremely disorganized. They don't know what they're doing. The environment is not professional at all. They can't even spell professional. The system is archaic. Most of the people there aren't even computer literate. You look on the computer program, and they're still running Windows XP, Windows Millennium. They got all these fancy gadgets and stuff, and nobody knows how to use them. The place doesn't have a copy machine. The system changes too many hands. How in the world am I going to navigate this environment? This is not what I signed up for. I really thought this was professional. This is my first experience making Hijrah, leaving my country. I really thought that this was going to be like, okay, cool. We're going to set some roots down here. You know, we're going to get some stuff established now. I can start working on saving some money, paying off these bills, start getting my children over. We started to look at schools, I had all these things in my mind. But on the first day I reported to work, you guys don't have a clue about what you're doing at all. And then you want me to participate in this madness. What do you advise us to do? Abu Idris, if you ask me, I say, stay. What? Stay there. But the people aren't professional. They're this, they're nasty, they lie, they this, this. Stay there. Why should you stay there? There are a number of reasons why you don't leave a bad job when you finally get over. I'm talking about the first job that you come into. I'm not talking about for you veterans who have been around and you've been to a couple of places and then you land in a spot and it's not to your liking, then you go. I'm talking about for you first timers. You first timers, so this is your first time leaving the country. It's the first time, it's your first experience in another country, in a work environment, under contract. This is all new ground to you. There are a number of reasons why you should stay and not hightail it and take the first plane out of there. And they're going to be, all of these are pluses, okay, to avoid the minus, if I can put it like that. One of the reasons why you want to stay is because geographically, you have accomplished much. See, it's different from applying online from India, from Pakistan, from Canada, from the US, from Russia, from New Zealand, from the UK. It's different because you're not physically there. So there's only so much information you can get online. There's only so much you can see online. There's only so many pictures of the place that you want to work at that's going to be published online. You don't have a way to look at this and have some kind of tangible, something you can touch, something that you can walk into physically. You're not physically located there. You're online. So everything that you're looking at, basically, you just have to trust it. So you stay there because geographically now, 100% of that part is over. Now, what does that afford you to do? It allows you to move around the country. You have a visa now. You have an Iqama now. or at least it's in the works, but you are now legally in the country. Go look around. Start networking. Don't be one of those guys, now I'm just to myself, I'm just doing my thing, I'm not really mixing with the people like that, I'm low key. Yeah, man, nix that stuff, man. That stuff is not healthy. That's not healthy. You need a network of people. You need an environment in which you can contact people to let them know you here. There are resources that are available that you don't even know about because you're trying to be low key. Stay to yourself. I don't do, man. Come on, that stuff is corny. That stuff's corny. That stuff we did in the States because we had to do it. That stuff we did in our country because we had to do it. This is not that kind of situation now. We are interdependent amongst each other as a support system. Anyway, that's a side note, actually. So you're physically there. You can go to, there are areas in which, and one thing I do like about the Middle East is that there's like strips. There's like areas, right? I call them strips, right? Because you could walk down a single street and have 20 identical types of shops, right? I forgot the name of the street in Kuwait, but this street in Hawali, and the city is Hawali. This city in Hawali, you can walk straight down this particular street. I don't know, it's not Abu Bakr Road. I forget what it is. And there's nothing but electronic shops. Electronic shops for phone sales, phone repairs, phone screens, this and that. You go further down, there's another street that you go down. It's nothing but tire places, battery and tire places. So change your batteries, change your tires, the brims, detailing, car washes, anything automotive is on that street. Everybody knows that street. The other street for the electronics, I think it's Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta, you go down that road, it's just all electronics. Then you go a little further down, there's gyms and department stores. And then on this side, there's banks. And on this side, there's bakeries and things like that, right? So in certain places like that, you'll go down a strip, and it's just that whole area is just nothing but schools that you can walk right in. No appointment needed. No appointment needed. Walk right in. You got your resume. I would suggest using some color in your resume. Not something outlandish, you know what I mean, but something like a slightly beige tint or a slightly bluish kind of tint, or even a very, very, very like a pastel, as opposed to a plain white, right? I would also use stock paper to copy my resume on. So your resume is like it's got some thickness to it, right? So that it's just not paper just crunched up somewhere. Something to make your resume stand out. What's this pastel beige looking thing here? Oh, this is so, something to make your resume stand out. But anyway, another side note. But you're physically there. So take a look around. Take a look around. You might find something to your liking out there. Okay. The second reason you don't want to leave, it makes a bad impression on you. It makes a bad impression because whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, these places, the owners and the managers, they talk to each other. They talk to each other. They talk to each other. I'll give you an example. I had a situation where we had a teacher. She was at the school that I was at, and I won't mention the country. She was entertaining leaving, right? Because she had been there maybe a year, possibly 2 years. She put some time in, okay? American sister. And so she went to apply in another school. Actually, she had applied in a couple of schools. This particular school, they really liked her. So they wanted her, right? So now, if you're in country, it's just transferring your economy, right? When she applied, and then it was discovered that she applied and that the school accepted her, the school has to contact the person who paid for your original IQAMA and then put in the paperwork and request for them to transfer the IQAMA at the end of the contract from them to you, and then whatever they work out in terms of reimbursement or whatever, because normally your IQAMA is 2 years. The general managers got to talking from these two schools, the one that we were at with, that we were working at, her and I, and the school that wanted to hire her. And basically it was a no-go. It was a no-go. In other words, he talked her out of hiring her. He talked him out of hiring her and giving her the position. And he wasn't going to transfer the econ over. They talk to each other. If you are out shopping around for different schools, these places, they talk to each other. So if they had a good impression of you, that's going to follow you. So when they talk, they go, yo, yeah, Nasreen was really, really nice. She's very good. You know, I'm going to hate to see her go. You know, I know I'm not really paying her enough. You know, I know that's why she's going, you know, but I'm going to definitely miss her. But she's a good teacher. Yeah, she's very good. She's this. The parents love her. Blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. But if you leave too soon, i.e., you leave before the probationary period. Like you leave, like I don't mean leave as in change jobs. I mean leave as in you left the country. You left the country and you went back home. Not a good move. Not a good move. It doesn't make you look good. It makes it difficult now for you to come back in because now you got the exit visa and all this. It's just a lot of paperwork that's involved. And when they talk, they go, yeah, you know, the guy came here for 2 days. I know a guy in the school that I was teaching at in Saudi. He came for 1 day. I don't even remember him teaching a class. He was that new. And I, later on in my time with them, I started doing orientation with the new teachers that would come in, kind of take them around, show them. It was a huge institute. So I take them around, show them all the different places, you know, maybe sit in on a couple of classes so that they can see what it's like, you know, and then have like a little sit down face to face. I don't even remember this guy. He was in and out that fast. 1 day, gone. That leaves a bad stain, a bad taste in people's mouths because they paid for you to come over. In most cases, you should not be paying for your own airfare. I'll probably put a video up for that. You should not be paying for your own airfare. You should not be getting a promise from somebody to reimburse you for anything. For anything. Anyway, it leaves a bad stain. Okay. Now, legally, you are allowed to leave the job during the probationary period, okay, without any kind of repercussions. So even if they got bad blood, even if they were mad, even if they're talking crazy about you, it's okay because legally you're allowed to leave. If the conditions aren't to your satisfaction or for whatever, there's no questions asked. They can let you go or you can let them go. It doesn't matter. But it leaves a bad taste in a person's mouth. It really does. Number 3, you haven't given yourself enough time to see if that crazy, chaotic system is actually working for them. It might actually be working for them because it's still there, right? They might look like a bunch of disorganized, you know, little bumblebees, you know, running from pillar to post and from flower to flower, and nobody seems to know exactly what's going on. Everybody has a general idea, or everybody is doing their own thing, their own kind of way, and no two people do the same job the same way. It may look like a huge soup sandwich. You ever seen a soup sandwich where it runs at the sides? It's a soup sandwich, but it's working. But you haven't been there long enough to observe it and see, A, is it working for them? B, how can I interject some kind of change into it? C, how can I function within this madness, within this chaos, so it doesn't drive me crazy? And that's what I had to do the first year when I left. I looked at the system, I was like, these guys, they calling it American. This is nothing to do with the American system. And they were determined to prove to me that no, Mr. Abu Idris, this is done all over the world. No, it's not. And I knew that. But me, as the new guy, I have no weight. I have no weight at all. I'm the new guy. No one's going to listen to the new guy. They will marvel over you. You know, you're a spectacle. You're this. The American. Yeah. And they may even come to you with some advice and how do you think we should do this? But your words have no weight. So you have to wait until you get some weight, if that makes sense. You have to wait until you get some weight. And your weight comes from staying there. So you have to wait the contract out. You might have to wait 6 months, a year and a half, okay? And then very subtly, hey, what about this? I think we should do like this. What if we did like this? Do you think it'd be a good idea if we did it like this? Or should we just do it like this? You know, you have to use your finesse so that you make them think that the idea actually spawns from them and that they were the pioneers or the originators of that idea, but it was actually you. Okay. Do you think, I'll give you an example. I can give you this example safely because I'm sure that the place that this happened in, I'm sure none of them watch my channel. I remember being in a library. All right, there was a visit that was going to happen from the Ministry of Education. And everybody was really stressed out about this. So they were trying to make everything look perfect, right? So I come into the library. I was going to the copy machine, but I noticed there was this buzz of teachers in the library. Why is everybody in the library? So I go inside the library and I said, what are you guys doing? And I saw like on this big table, there were scissors everywhere. You can't make this stuff up. There was scissors everywhere and there was colored construction paper everywhere. I'm like, what are you guys doing? You guys are art teachers. What are you doing? Oh, we are making a Dewey Decimal catalog. You are? Yeah. Okay. We pretty much don't use Dewey Decimal unless we're in an actual physical library, right? And that stuff is on microfiche or computer or something like that. This is a school library. So I said, okay, well, where's the computer? You know, maybe this is a new thing for me. I want to learn how to properly use this system. You know, I've always been interested in how the process works. So he's like, no. So well, what we're going to do is all of the science books, for example, we're going to label red. They were basically cutting squares out of construction paper, and they had tape, and they will put the construction paper on the spine, tape it to the spine. So now this book on the spine had a blue construction mark, no number on it, nothing written on it, just blue. So all the science books we put the blue square on the spine, tape it to the spine, and all the English books we tape red as an example. And then all the math books we take green. And I'm like, that's not Dewey Decimal. They called it Dewey Decimal. I know Dewey Decimal. That's not Dewey Decimal. No, Mr. Abu Idris, you don't understand. This is how they do it all over the world. No, it's not. What are you talking about? That has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. I said Dewey Decimal is a series of numbers. It's a decimal system of numbers, right? So for example, you would have everything in the 200 range would be science related. Everything from the 300.0 to 399.9 would be dealing with math. Then geography would be 400, then like that. And then you would paste those, you know, according to those numbers on the shelves. And then you would have a database system where you don't have to physically go and look for book number 389.2. You just go in the database, it'll tell you what the name of the book is, and then it'll tell you, look, it's in this section over here. You don't have to go wandering through the whole library. Okay. And then they have what they call a card catalog. I know I'm talking Greek to a lot of you guys, and I'm probably telling my age, but that's what it is. So you have the card catalog, you pull the card catalog out, and they have index cards or cards there that have the decimal number of the book you're looking for, the name, the author, the publication, and then a small description of what that book is about. That's a Dewey Decimal System. Taping pieces of construction paper with color codes. At that point, I had been there long enough that I said to myself, you know what, Abu Idris, this is not a fight that I'm even willing to go into. This is not worth my energy. So when they were doing all that, I was just watching them for about maybe 5 minutes. All right, well, y'all have fun with that. I left. Y'all have fun. Enjoy yourself. I got papers to grade. I got tests to type. I'm otherwise busy. Well, if you get a chance, can you come by? If I get a chance, if I'm not busy, yes, I'll come by. Man, I ran away from that place like the plague. You're not going to drive me crazy in there because I know what I'm doing. If you don't know, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I did work at a place that did understand the Dewey Decimal System, and that was a relief. Okay. So these are the kind of things you're going to experience. Okay. You have to make sure that you understand the process. Once you understand the method to the madness, then you can figure out how you can insert yourself into that. Okay. So there are reasons why you want to stay in a bad situation, even as long as they're not jerking you around for your pay, as long as they're not, you know, saying, well, you know, we're going to pay you, and then they haven't paid you for the work you've done. That's different. Okay, now you got to take legal action, and there's really no reason you should stay there. Okay, and that is actually that is grounds for breach of contract because the employer breached the contract by not paying you. Okay, but in terms of work environment, if it's a chaotic or archaic work environment or unprofessional work environment, or just people who, sometimes you're dealing with people who have no couth. They have no what we call soft skills. They have no people skills. They don't know how to talk to people. Every word is a barking order, or they just nasty and they just rude or they just resentful because who is this American? Who is this person, this new person, this Canadian, this whoever coming in here? They're going to think they're going to tell us what to do. Because unfortunately, I only know Americans, okay? Most Americans have a reputation, especially overseas, of being know-it-alls. You can't tell the American guy nothing. He knows everything. The American guy said this. The American girl said that. She thinks she knows everything. This I know. And I also know that our brothers from the United Kingdom, they are known for being very staunch, very stiff, very unbending. They're known for that. They have the accolades in terms of knowledge and so forth, but they're known for being very stiff. They're known for it. And I'm not saying this is true, but this is a reputation that they've garnered. Okay. So in those cases where you have that kind of thing hanging over you, you want to kind of take your time, relax, observe the situation as long as you're getting paid. Because that's why you came over, right? You want to, make Hijrah with your family, and you want to be able to support yourself while you're on Hijrah. You didn't come here for volunteering. This ain't the Red Cross. We didn't come for love. We didn't come necessarily to make friends. We came here to work and make money and support our families in an Islamic environment. As long as the financial side is being maintained and they're acting in good faith, then stay there. Don't leave. Don't leave. When you finish with that 6 months, you can go running like your hair was on fire getting out of there. But you stayed. You stayed. Don't let them, don't allow yourself to spoil an opportunity that you have there. While you're there, network with the people. Look for other jobs. Look for other places of employment. Let the people know that you're talking to. Hey, we really want to hire you. Because many of them, you got to be careful with this too. Many places that you go to, if you tell them you're already working, they're like, well, we really need somebody now. I mean, can you just leave? Don't let people do that to you. Don't let people do that to you because they know that that's wrong. That's not work etiquette, proper work etiquette at all. In every workspace, it's kind of standard. It's common. You're going to give a couple of weeks notice, but you can't do that. You're on contract. You're on contract. There is no 2-week notice for you. If you've gotten past the probationary period, you're on contract. You're on now. You are a member of the staff. You are a member of the team. Inside of probationary period, do whatever you want. You can leave. You can go there for 1 day and leave and never come back. Okay? But because in that probationary period, that's a feeling out period. Is this the right place, the right fit for me? Are you the right fit for me? Am I the right fit for you? Are we going to work well together? If not, for whatever reason, you could just leave. But common professional courtesy is that you're going to let the employer know, listen, I think this is going to be my last week here. Is it something we can talk about? No, not really. I just don't think that this is a good fit. You don't have to go into any details. It's not necessary. Don't do that. They're going to give you a chance to take an open shot. Don't take it. Don't take it. Anything that you think, it's what we call an exit interview. Okay. Anything you think we can improve on? Is there anything that you saw that you necessarily didn't like? Then you're going to open your mouth and start talking about all kinds of stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just nice, bow out gracefully. All right. Keep your dignity intact and keep your comments to yourself. That's it. No, it's not, anything in particular. I just don't think it's a good fit, for me personally with my situation and such and such. Well, what could we do to make it better? At this point, I'm really not, sure of anything that we could do to make it better. I'm just not really, feeling the vibe and everything else. But whatever you need to say, right, to get yourself out that uncomfortable situation, say it, and then go ahead and go over to your next job. Okay. But don't let the future job talk you into leaving the company once you have passed the probationary period because you're under contract. Well, we really need you right now. Everything is right now. When you go overseas, especially in the Khalij, in the Gulf, everything is right now. Not now, but right now. We need you right now. We need you now, yesterday. Okay, don't let them talk you into that. You have to maintain your professional, because here's the thing. If you did that to come onto their company, then they say, okay, well, he dropped his other employee like a bad habit, right? And he came over here. Well, he'll probably do the same thing to us. All right. So you want to set a good standard for yourself. The other reason why you don't want to leave is because you create an impression that all people from that nationality or from that country are like that. And I remember my experience when I went to Kuwait, talking with the general manager who was the owner of the school. And he told me, he said, I have reservations on, he didn't use those words, but I'm just saying, I have reservations. I'm hesitant. I'm not sure. Like, I'm looking at your paperwork here. I'm looking at your CV. I'm looking at your resume, and you're definitely qualified. And I'm looking at your bearing and how you are, your personality. I want you. Okay. But I've had so many bad experiences with African-American men in particular. With African-American brothers in particular, he mentioned that. With African-American brothers, I've had bad experiences with them and they didn't work out. So I really don't know. I want to. My only response to him was, I can't sit here and tell you or promise you that I'm not like this and I'm not like them and I'm not like that. I said, I would rather let my work ethic show you what I'm about. He said, okay, fair enough. And that's how we agreed to our employment, because I don't know what happened. I don't know the details, and I have an expression I always say, there's always three sides to the story. There's what he said, there's what he said, and then there's what really happened. So somewhere in there is what really happened. You don't know the details. So even if a person's telling you, oh, they did this and they did that, don't take that side and go, oh, astaghfirullah, that was bad. No, because you don't know the details. So, excuse me, I can't promise you that I'm not going to be like that because I don't know all the details. But what I can promise you is that you're going to get an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. If I'm here, this is an amana, I'm going to take care of the amana. You're going to see it through my work. And I was there for 2 years. And after the second year, he was literally chasing me down to try to get me to change my mind from leaving. I didn't want to stay. And one of the things he said to me was, I'm not going to find another Abu Idris. Meaning he's not going to find somebody who works it like I work it. And that's how you go and you make your mark. And that's how you become marketable. As a reminder, please like the video if you're getting benefit from this. If I've said anything that is really, really beneficial to you from advice and so forth, please like the video so other people can see it on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell so you'll know when we get other videos like this as you're going through your Hijrah experience, Hijrah tips and advice. Continuing, so you make your mark. And the way you make your mark, you dig your heels in and you get the job done. Let your work speak for you. We had a person who every conversation that he had he had to mention that he had a degree in that. He had a bachelor's in this, and he had a master's in that. He had this certification. He was a certified this and a certified that. And the man didn't literally, I'm not exaggerating because I don't need to do that. The man literally did not know how to make a lesson plan. For all your degrees, we used to call him the good doctor as his nickname. The good doctor couldn't even make a lesson plan. And what I mean by he literally, he didn't know the difference between using a word processor program like Microsoft Word and a spreadsheet program like Excel. So he's using an Excel program for something he should be using on a word processor. And he didn't know how to type all this stuff out. He didn't know how to organize his lessons. He didn't know how to look at the curriculum and just simply say, okay, from this time to this time, this is what I'm going to do. Because we had to have a yearly, and then the yearly, we had to have a monthly. From the yearly, we had to have a daily lesson plan. So we have a yearly planner, and then we have a daily planner, right? And all that stuff had to be turned in by the end of the year. So the last week or two of school is spent going over the yearly planner, making sure everything is correct. What are the things we want to add? What are some of the things we want to change? What do we need? What we don't need? And then from that, once we're all in agreement on that in our particular subjects, then we're going to make our yearly planner, type all that out, and that's it. Then we go home. We submit that and we go home. He literally could not do that. Consequently, he was fired. I don't even think he lasted the whole contract. Even if he did, he never came back. So you let your work speak for you. Okay. So even though it didn't work out, the people will miss you because they're like, we really miss Abu Idris because he didn't stay that long, but we could tell like he had a lot of benefit with him. He had a lot of experience. You know, we really wish we could have capitalized on that. You will leave them wanting more. So don't just run away. The last reason, as we close the video, is that some people are very vindictive. So you're going to leave me. I brought you over here. You didn't have nothing. I gave you an apartment. I'm paying you. I got your residency permit. Because everybody, every country who has an influx or who brings foreign labor in, they know that the people want to be in their country. And sometimes, you know, that kind of makes them feel a little high post. You know, like you should be glad that I offered you the job and got you over here because there's other people who didn't get that chance. Just like the jobs we're on now, right? You try to ask them for a raise or more money or more hours or whatever. You know, they give you the impression, directly or indirectly, that you should be happy you even working. So some people are very, very vindictive. So you have now moved into their apartment, okay? And now they're like, okay, well, you got to go. You leaving? All right, well, you need to get out of the apartment now, as in now. I'm not exaggerating. I have come home from work and literally, the guy's like, man, these guys just came to me just now and told me I got to get on the plane in a couple of hours. He had just enough time to pack his bags with the clothes he had on his back and get him on the plane, and they got him out. People are very, very vindictive. Now, I don't know the details behind that. So I can't elaborate as to whether it was right or wrong. I don't know. But I mean, come on, giving a guy 2 hours to pack his bags, unless he did something egregious, I don't know. I don't know the details. But I'm just saying people are very vindictive. Okay. And so now you get out the apartment. Well, what about my pay? What about it? What about it? You got a bank account here? No, you ain't been here long enough to get a bank account because you need an Iqama to have a bank account. The Iqama takes 2 months. You left after the first 30 days. No, we don't do cash. Well, just don't worry about it. When you get back to your country, we'll set something up. You hard pressed to get that money. You're hard pressed to get that money, and you're on the street. Then they're going to write you an exit visa. And typically your exit visa means you have to leave immediately. But in most cases, the government will give you a couple of weeks to straighten out your affairs. But the way these guys do it, because they've been doing this for a while, the way these guys do it is they'll write the exit visa and book the ticket the same day. No, your flight leaves 7 o'clock. You ain't got time to put nothing in order. They'll send a representative from the school with you to supervise you packing your stuff and make sure you don't trash out the apartment before you go. You pack it up all your, is this everything? Okay, you got the key? Okay. I'm telling you what I've seen with my own eyes. There are reasons to stay, even though the environment is completely chaotic and unprofessional. Again, as long as you're getting paid, okay, even if they put you in a crappy apartment with a nasty roommate, you know, some guy who got a completely different definition about clean, stay there and look for a better situation while you're there and deal with it, man. Just deal with it. Because you over there now. You've solved the major issue, the major problems I need to get from here to here. Okay, I'm here now. How do I make the most of my being here? Because I'm not going to get that opportunity again. I sold everything. I packed up everything. I didn't use my country as a home base like the brother had mentioned. I just sold everything because I don't want anything to do with the country. Okay, now when I go back, I'm homeless. I got out the lease and I sold everything that belonged to me and I liquidated it for money. So I have no possessions. I've got nothing in my hand. I got literally the clothes on my back. So I go back to my country, no money, no job, no place to live. That's not prudent. So stay there until you find a better situation for yourself, inshallah. Make dua, make a lot of dua, make a lot of extra salah, and start networking with people. Find out where are your countrymen in the country where you are. Where are they? Where do they go? Where do they congregate? Where do they hang out? Are they in the mall? Are they in the coffee shops? Introduce yourself to people, let them people know who you are. A lot of times people are like, yeah, I know a guy, he works with so I can give you his number. People do that. So even if you don't meet someone directly, you'll meet someone who's a friend of the person that you need to contact, and he'll give them your number. Or he'll give you his number. You guys exchange numbers like that, and then you kind of can get some networking going on. So when you're in these environments, just stay there, because that's the beneficial thing to do, and make the most out of your time. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لكم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Thanks for watching.